the cadence of his axes, but he's gonna get punished. And now he's the one who's on the defense right here as he backs up and takes a defensive stance to go ahead and heal.
Doesn't have any shields, no minis, unlike Kuche, who has 2 more remaining.
He's got all the mats now going away.
Yeah, he's got everything to work with. Sometimes you gotta go, just farm up, pick up as much as you can, or maybe even disengage from the fight. It may not be worth it. It's okay to disengage. Play the safe game. There's no reason that you gotta get aggressive, get in their face. We understand that is what the region likes to do, but in this instance, hey, you're playing for the long game.
Yeah, and I talked to Max Wood, calculator, the players now for a while. I asked him, what do you do if someone disengages? Do you respect a good disengage? He says it depends, you know? If both of you guys are in a weird situation, they'll give it up.
No reason for you to realize that you're just not comfortable for a fight right now. No defense, but he ends up getting tagged, and now it's going to be him on the back foot. Has to take a moment.
Best case scenario for him because he still has a full lights here. He did not lose his normal turned off there.
These quality players right now scrambling against one another. Pika gets rid of the trees so that you can get above. You also get a little bit more resources out of this, perhaps. And he's right in front. Oh man, played around the corner there. And then Pika, he just had that brief moment to move away. Saw him move ever so slightly down low. Just saw the tip of his head.
A double qualified competitor here. He played in the duels competition yesterday. 2. He's the one who just goes in. It's not the IGL. See how he can handle himself here when just playing solos now, and he's in the zone. He's got himself in the zone.
Yeah, gonna get ticked for 1 in the zone, and they're pretty far from it.
Doesn't want to play off that camera angle, but he's gonna chuck a brilliant grenade right there. It's gonna open up the box.
Now you're inside of the Storm Monster. What do you do? You're engaging in this fight. You're losing health little by little. What's the play now? No!
Got the med kit, but he's putting on that.
The player's just to go for it. Pika gets the better. He's going to continue to tick for health. Does have a launch pad though. And fly back. He's really far from the safe zone.
I just gotta say, that was Crew's game to win. He managed to turn it around and get that right camera dominant angle back, and he could have had it at that moment, but Pika's prime position put him over the ramp. He lost sight of him. He let his guard down. He got punished.
And this is from Pika's perspective and how he got the better of Crew. With the burst SMG, the weapon that I happen to favor quite a bit. I like it, although I do like to set myself up for failure sometimes. So the burst SMG isn't that well for me. But these players here, they know how to take advantage of each item in Fortnite. So good at really working what's in front of them. Now, the format, as we mentioned before, we're pretty far from it. Okay, so when you get to 25th place, that's when the placement points start to tick. But elimination is going to give a crucial. These have been some low point games. If you watched online qualifiers wondering, man, we're seeing players get 60, 80 points, even 100 in some instances. Going against one another. The game is going to slow down just a they will fight.
Yeah, this is definitely that time in the game where positions up and the heavy congestion begins, but King doesn't care about that because he's King. He's looking for a fight. Arguably, the first zone to fight in. Zones 4 and 5 here.
He's a savage. He's a savage. He does not want anyone else to sit upon that throne. It should only be him, but it's okay. Sometimes you don't have to be that thirsty. You can move away. That player popped that ramp in front of him. He gets out.
And look at this, look at that. That was so brilliant. He changes his angle there. He says, you know, I'm not going to use this side. I'm going to go around and start collapsing in on you, just losing or pushing that player out in uncomfortable ways.
He's going down low.
Master at finding angles here. He's just Sanctioning to himself here. This is why he's in the running in the top 10 here. We saw him get taken out earlier before, but this is why he plays the high risk, high reward. If I'm being honest, that's how you take first place. You put it all out there and
Go
hope
big or go home.
everything goes in your favor, honestly.
Go big or go home. King fight over on the mountain there. He's next to him as well as King Star. King, he's gone. He's flying over to the next target here.
He just doesn't stop. Into another box fight he goes. And now he's gonna reposition here and set up for the prime push.
This is ridiculous.
Look, he's still going.
He does not care, people. King wants to jump into your box. It's fights now! Oh, what a beast! What a beast!
He's not here to play. Laser's gonna go down.
Bow down.
We thought Booga was one of the best box fighters. Hold up, it's time to do some reviews here, because King is putting himself on the map here.
All I want, Bala, if you're listening, I just want you to do a VOD review of King, okay?
Get us a VOD review,
Hopefully we
please.
can just agree on that. Wild stuff, man. Gets the window, boom, right to the face. Right to the kisser.
He's already looking.
What's wild about that fight, too, is a lot of players would have just stayed stationary in that position. Storm was coming in.
They would have been content with being somewhere safe in
He had a target and he just went right for it.
Incredible. Here we have Dubs now. Center zone. Still has a baller. Bucky still in the running here. Leshy also getting right next to Dubs. Also has a baller. So they're probably not going to get into too much of a battle, but who knows?
Maybe they'll be
Storm
baller
Surge
buddies.
is still a thing. Maybe they'll be baller buddies.
Maybe. But you're right, though, about the Storm Surge. You really are, because if you're not putting in damage, 0 eliminations for Leshy right now. How many fights has he actually gotten into? Someone's gonna be above. There's Dubs. Minigun. That minigun goes right through your builds. Very powerful against structures.
Dubs, only with 2 eliminations, is actually the match leader, and that's because he's just
damage.
pinging other players. Yes, just damage leader. And we just talked about Storm Surge. That's why you want to be proactive. You want to shoot at anything that moves. So realistically, you don't know when you're going to find yourself in that precarious situation where you have to push someone like pretty much with, without wanting to.
And we were talking about this before we jumped on the cast. I think it was Zayt we were discussing. He's really good at not putting himself in a position, but still to get hurt, but still take shots. And Benji Fishy against Storm. First elim for him there.
Saw that. He put the trap above his head through the window edit, opens it up and hits him with the pump.
Now we're on his perspective. But as we were mentioning before, sometimes from a safe position, go for the shots. Go for the shots. Maybe you get 2 takes. Damage perhaps. And King, he's taking fights outside as well.
King is still here to play, Golden.
2 eliminations. 53 builds for him. Running with that blue combat shotgun. Great range on that item. It's far away, though, from where the half-in, half-out circle is going to be. We're at Zone 5. This is when things start to get a little crazy. What does King have as an option here? Is he looking for people on the move and then punishing them? Maybe trying to get the community launch pad, perhaps, if someone throws that down. What is he looking for here?
It really wouldn't even surprise me if he's just looking for elimination to recap on Monsterious right now, because he doesn't have enough to full tunnel across here. Knowing his playstyle, he's probably going to want to push here. And there it is. He actually found a launch pad, so his game awareness was at an all-time high here. And take a look here. Tfue, nice little replay right there, one of his first elims.
First point, as a matter of fact, against Kurtz. Tfue on the board. But King, what are the chances of that one? Yeah, the good old community launch pad right there. Great neighbors.
Paying attention to what's going on here. And Tfue make a big comeback for himself here.
A little concerned about that player who had edited out. And Tfue did have the mark on him. Guy though, you hate that one. When you just get focused on so much. You're out and about, trying your best to stay up in this game. And then everyone looks at you, and Tfue again, he's doing damage, but he's not getting the elimination. Other people are siphoning those away from him.
Yes, Prison Arrow was just snatched from him. That's another point that unfortunately does not go his way here. He does have some shadow bombs though, so he will be able to make it to this next zone. He decides that he's close enough to try and tarp in, but now he becomes the target of the server because he's only building in wood here.
Take note of the structures being used. That will give you an indication as to where they are currently. Players do build around 2-box metal, perhaps. Metal, the strongest structure. In case you're wondering, maybe you're watching for the first time, wondering what's going on here. Your Game 3 winner, Dubs. 2 eliminations, still has that baller, but it is a very weak baller. I mean, look at that thing, it is cracked up.
Not only that, he doesn't have health either. He is very, very weak here. He has tons of materials though. He just has to play for placement to continue to hold this lead that he has right now on the competition. King gets taken out by Monroe, unfortunately, right there, and Bugga is still in the running here as he catches Flexi, and the kill feed is lighting up right now as players are dropping, and we're approaching placement points finally here.
We're getting very close to it, Monster. Once we hit 25th place, everyone's gonna start to earn some points. Right at the side of your screen, 3 points for everyone. Still alive, but Dubs, and we mentioned it, that baller was in dire straits. It was not gonna be able to survive another rotation, and neither was he with the HP that he had currently. Then the rotations, everyone's starting to move here. They have some shadow bombs, they're gonna use those and get to the other side, get to the safe area, build around and protect themselves, and hope that they can continue to gain more placements as we take a look at the overhead.
That's right, he was holding his breath because he needed to get that top 25. He didn't break it through in time. Everyone left in the game has already gotten placement points here, but you want to play for the next threshold. You want to continue to stay in this game here, as that's exactly what Tfue is doing with the Shadow Bomb, hopping around the builds here, trying to keep a low profile. Bizzle still in the running. One of the innovators when it comes down to tarping and pushing out with effective and clean builds.
Just one of the greats of Fortnite altogether. On the side, I was looking at this fight between Ruxin and Riversand. Riversand went for high ground numerous times, and Tfue gets eliminated by Mongrel. And then Rux has high ground, as you see on your screen to the left. Then you have Bizzle, still very much in this one. Takamura with 4 eliminations and earning placement points as more players begin to fall. And we're coming down to the final moments, Monster.
That's right, we are. And we're gonna jump into Takamura's POV here because he has 4 eliminations, and he doesn't plan on stopping. Neither does Magro, because Magro catches Benji Fishy as well. Taking a look here at Takamura, tarping out. He is going to fall down, and he's going to get shot a few times here. What's he going to do is he's going for the high ground. He sees an opportunity. It's his to take. Now jumping over with Mongro's in the low ground. Drops another player right here. Is he going to be able to connect it full? Can he convert here? He does not.
So many players are landing in front of Mongrel here. Coming down to the wire. Top 9 remaining. One in front of Mongrel. Does he get the elim? He manages to just get away by the skin of his teeth. And now Mongrel gets up to the high ground. Maybe using this. If you keep jumping on the wall, you won't go out of the shadow state. He gets up top, but there's no one going to be there. There's a person all the way above him. Knocks the structure down. And the player does manage to catch himself and maintain the high ground positioning here. We have some great players still left in this game. But Mongrel with 4 eliminations is looking for number 5. And that was on Nate. We're now down to the final moments. Top 5 Monster.
He had to fully commit there. Those are the maps that he needed. He's still in the game here. He's going to go all the way for it. And that's a trade out with the 109 to the face here.
Huge elimination on Takamura. We're into a 1v1v1v1. Top 4 players now. Mongrel in the ultimate low ground. Going up against a player. It's going to be Bugga. The game 1 winner will not be enough against Mongrel, who does get picked quite a bit. He loses a lot of HP. No more builds, but the victory royale goes to the veteran Psalm, who manages to pick up a massive win.
Using the shockwaves in the final moments to snatch the high ground, Psalm claims a victory, but it's Mongrel who had a ton of eliminations and really was the competitors in that round right there.
Mongrel was running rough rough shot in the ultimate low ground, but it's Som, the vet. He has performed in so many competitions at a high level, and it's no surprise here. When Som gets that high ground, everyone needs to look out. He's so good at that. Mongrel had no builds left. He had no HP to work with. He did the job he needed to do. Top 2, he got second place and a bunch of eliminations. And Shockwave's late game again, Monster. Such a great piece of equipment that you can use.
I love that right there. Stands up, flexes, hits us with a let's go. He's feeling good. And that's a huge accomplishment to take a victory. And just you only have so many opportunities to win a game here. Just to do that alone, it's magnificent.
Yeah, it really, magnificent is the best word that I could think of at the final moment. Game 3 and 4 certainly did not disappoint. Oh, that was a wild, wild game. Here are the standings though. Booga still holding on to first place. Look how far ahead he is. 8 points early. All now jumps in second place. Third. Managed to put together some great games. Is in 4th. Rux as well. Epic Whale in 6th. Skype and Dubs get knocked down to 7 and 8. And King, who has been very aggressive, is in 9th. And then Peter Pan from South Korea in 10th place.
Doing so good. The last player we saw in 11th place, Epic Whale, shot himself up to that front page, guys. So don't count out Andretta, Benji, Savage, or anyone else here in the top 20 because they have to take. Look at how close the point threshold is.
Yeah.
Everyone is in the running for top 10 right here, and that's a life-changing prize on the line here. The stakes are so high.
Yeah, the gap is so small, and these players have the capability of being able to get into the top 10. 4 games remaining. I wonder who's going to take it on, but let's go down to the stage. We got Jordan standing by with our Game 4 winner song.
And a huge Game 4 win for Som. Now sitting at 2nd place in the standings. Feeling really, really good right now. We're just talking about that high ground thing. You said I didn't think it was going to work, but real domination right there at the end. What was your thought process going up against such a stacked final 10 people? I mean, some of the players that were there are all capable of clutching this up.
After I got the high ground, I was just focused on playing safe, making sure I don't lose the high ground, making sure the one that the high ground. And then, I let everyone on the ground do their thing, and then I clean up.
And the cleanup was
Once again, no shocker there. He takes the risk, he makes the bold play, and sometimes he's coming out quite free. But 2nd place currently in the standings.
Since the competition has begun, been chipping away at placement. That last one was a huge victory for him, and that is exactly what he wanted and needed here to keep him relevant.
So many great moments in that game, and while we had a best seat in the house, there were some moments that maybe we didn't catch. And the good news is we got one of the best VOD reviewers in the game. Ball is standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, GB. Yes, we have 2 games remaining, and it looks like Som and Booga repeating that first game success early on. We'll move forward at the top of the leaderboard, but for now, we're going to take a look at some of Rux's performances and some of his shots that push him up to 5th. So while we roll these clips, Rux, in the end game, first, he set himself up brilliantly in the early game against Arkham. We've talked about Arkham a number of times. This duel has been going on every single game here. Rux takes the better of Arkham and gets the loadout that he needs to push on forward here with the infantry rifle and the combat shotgun, and heals to boot. Only 1 map remaining through this entire time. Doesn't quite get those maps after finding the elimination onto Core Gaming, so he's working through old structures here, other players' structures, and that's when you start going sneaky beaky mode. He stays crouched, make sure that no sound is coming through for that elimination onto Slaya. He had high ground in this position. A nice shot there onto Light. Unbelievable flick shot with the combat shotgun. And then this is when I believe it was here. Beautiful retake. It's Stompy. Rux brings himself up into 5th place with that. We'll see if he continues to climb. For now, we've got 2 more games to go. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much for breaking that down, Bala. Rux, who has been time and time again showing up in the top 3. So important. Along with his teammate Pika, they always great. But this is what a wild ride. 10 weeks up until this point. Players looking at that top 10 as well, man.
Yeah, you saw it unfold. Like, who would have thought King would be the man to show up today?
Yeah.
And he, like, honestly, the energy for the arena here, because he has had some of the wildest moments so far in his journey through this World Cup weekend.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. It's been a wild ride here, but that's going to do it for myself and Monster Deface the Boricua boys. There we go, brother. Always a pleasure to cast with you. Now we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, Courage and Dr. Lupo take the stage one more time, and then we crown our Fortnite World Champion. We'll see you in just a few.
Hello, Fortnite fam. I am joined here at the front of house with David, and we're going to talk a little bit about how all of these systems work, how we are rating the Pro Am, Creative Cup, and the World Cup, you guys, this weekend. So David, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining me here. What do all of these buttons do behind us? Tell me a little bit about what all of the technical things are here.
So basically this is controlling all of the lighting and all of the video in the entire show. We're pushing out all the videos that you see on all the screens, any camera shots that go up there. And then we're also making sure that everybody's lights are at the right levels for players, faces, and everything else.
So it's your job to just make everyone look great, is technically what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Now, I know you have some facts about the lights, the LEDs. Give me a little bit of some factors about how all of this production pulls power and, you know, what goes into all of this.
There's about 1,200 lighting fixtures in the room currently. We have about 18 4K video outputs to go to all of the big screens. We're running 98 million pixels worth of video space.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, introduce me to all of these working parts, things that go into all of this. So when you guys are out in the stands watching the World Cup this weekend, you have David.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that the best of the best aren't concerned with just barely making it. They want to win every fight. They want every point. That's why he's a nerd. There's a reason he's one of the best solo players on the world.
처음에 솔로 4연승을
Four victory royales, and he averaged 8 elims. Obviously, first place. That's unbelievable.
연습을 운에 맡겨니까
Hi, New York City. Oh, okay, Backlock. I'll take you out for a good pizza. I know a couple good spots.
한국에는 스트레스가 별로 없어요. go.
Hey Fortnite fam, follow TW here to get the nitty gritty of competitive Fortnite. Final circles of competitive Fortnite are packed tightly with both action and players, all fighting to get the victory royale. Let's introduce one of the most common techniques used to outlast your opponents in those congested final zones. What is tunneling? Also known as snaking or pathing, this is when you build a protected tunnel while running away from the safe zone. These safe zones get so small, very easy. The opposing players can stop. Here's an example of the most basic straight. From your base, you simply go straight towards your destination, straight ahead of you, with the floor piece below your feet and above your head. This is the most basic and also dangerous version of the tunnel, since you're not covering horizontally. You're exposed from your sides. However, you save materials by doing this. The materials you spend covering your sides. Then, if you need to move diagonally to get where you need to go, you always see players do the diagonal tunnel. At its most basic, it's very similar. You're just changing directions as you go. Once left, once right. This is very useful since sometimes you'll encounter enemies that you can away from the roads to Victory Royale, or the next safe zone is in the diagonal direction. So just change directions and move, and make sure to stay safe from the storm. Now we talked about how you're exposed from your sides. In both versions, you can add walls to either side, or both, left and right, or even in front as well. This gets really hard and really fast, but it's so impressive that not only are the sides at the same time, crazy plays of unsuspecting opponents to get elimination points as well as break the points. It's a lot to do. Sometimes you think so fast that you can't. Players like Cease, Veggie Tissue, and all the players playing play for their company. So there you go. The most important skills in competitive Fortnite. It's pretty simple at its core. Just in games, it gets complicated. That means you need to practice and make sure to hop in creative mode and do Follow TW and we'll see you in game.
My name is Turner and Kifu. I qualify from the North American East region.
Wait. Trying to sneak him in. Can you get him to drop it? No, does that angle! He hits all of the shots.
The day I qualified, I was pretty hyped. I didn't really realize at the time. I don't know. I was just kind of streaming, grinding, doing my own thing, and I tried my hardest, succeeded, I guess.
Landing all the way up top, drops him. Follow through the shot, literally reading my mind.
Generational talent. He has qualities that not a lot of young players have. So mature, so dedicated, very rare to see.
플레이어 닉네임은 뜨데이입니다. 나이는 그리고 14살입니다.
He's disciplined,
Jay drops down.
he's focused,
That was a big play.
pushes.
What a charge through the box in there.
That's what he needs to do to become the best. Juno. I'm the coach for T1's Fortnite division. I first met Jay when he was a free agent.
저는 포트나이트 선수를 놀거리가 가장 많았고 저희 팀원은 가족 같고 가족보다 뭔가 더 끈끈하고 좀 더 위인 그런 팀인 것 같습니다.
The team really looks at Jay as the little brother that everybody wants to be.
저는 일어나자마자 바로 옆방에 있는 교실에서 포트나이트를 한다는 거에 대해서
His tempo is quite a bit faster than a lot of the other players.
Jay runs on forward.
재미있어서이기도 하고 이제 목표를 달성할 수 있기 때문입니다. 저는 포트나이트 게임을 시작할 때 이기자라는 생각으로 많이 시작합니다.
He wants to always be creative, always change up his playstyle, and feel the tempo from his opponents.
꼭 몸 관리 잘하시고 어디고 끝나면 바로 갈게요. 네. 세계 최고 플레이어가 되고 싶은 아무래도 부모님인 것 같습니다. 혹시 부모님이라는 생각이 약간 들어서 되게 동기부여가
Jay hasn't realized how talented he is just yet.
I am just so impressed with what I'm seeing here from Hood Jay.
He has that potential to become the greatest of all time.
Qualifying for the World Cup was a major step for me to actually help out my family. I'm so happy we made it. It's literally like a dream.
I was freaking out. It was awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, huge shout out to Mike Realm.
spinning over there, guys. Give it up for him. And now we are one step closer.
And in 2 games, Dr. Lupo, we will crown another Fortnite World Champion.
We've seen a ridiculous number of plays from everybody on the field. Even moments like King going out, literally the first eliminated one game immediately after just slaying out in the lobby. Love to see gameplay like that. Very aggressive from a number of players that honestly a lot of us didn't even expect to show up on the board. You have to remember though, every single player that has qualified for the solo finals here at the Fortnite World Cup in New York City is at the top of their game. 40 million people play through. This is what's left, the best of the best of the best.
We know the storylines continue throughout this lobby of the 100 best players in the world. We have 2 games left. Our standings, well, they're very close, and Sundown's going to update us on where they lock up.
Thank you so much for Encourage with only 2 matches left to decide who is the world champion solo player, who is the best of the best of the best. We're going to take a look at what the standings currently look like and what needs to happen. So the first thing you're going to see right away is the runaway train Booga up top. 1 victory royale leading the pack with 15 eliminations at 37 points, 8 points clear. We talked about it a little bit yesterday and a lot during the qualifier. What is a reasonable game? We've seen lots of victory royales today actually coming from more passive players. They've been getting around 11 to 12 points apiece. We've been seeing lots of eliminations happening in the early and the mid game. Right now, this Peter Pan sitting in 10th place right now is just off with a reasonable game. He can challenge towards that. Let's take a look at the second page because then from 10th to 20th, it is a 4-point difference. A fantastic performance in the last game. In the contention, the top 20 is the line where you will see an increase in that prize bonus. You want to be at minimum on this page when all is said and done. Matches are left. We have already seen world champions crowned in creative and duo. Who will be the ultimate victory right now? Who will take home the title? We're gonna throw it back inside and see the final 2 matches.
Last game saw him a last-minute clutch there. may have been the only one to drop up here. And are you kidding me? A Jug, a proxy grenade launcher.
Looks like sure. He's only averaging 1 elimination per match. Goes to second place. Value so key. Placement top 18 in every match. In 4 games. That means he's gotten placement points in every single match so far. Not Kubo. It's the big reason why he finds himself in second place. To be that consistent in this level, absolutely.
Break 25 to get those points.
Arkham, Rux, fighting. People do call it this desert town. Arkham has had a couple games where he's just basically got fried right off the start, and he turned around right now. He was top 15 earlier. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Rux, who's gotten the better of him in a few of these previous games, having to back on him for a moment as that airstrike did come down.
Don't count him out just yet, though. This is honestly one of the loot heaviest in the game. You have a lot of materials as well. A player like this, he gets in a good position, maybe even takes out Rux, doesn't have to fight anybody else down here. He can climb his way out of here with ease.
9 grenades in Rux's inventory. If he can somehow bait Arkham into a bad spot, use those to his advantage, that swings the tide in this battle.
Here we go.
He was going to begin to throw, but they are flashing down.
They are outside of the safe zone quite a bit. At some point, the zip line, quad response, might need to get all the way to the safe zone soon. Grenades going out of B. Rux takes quite a bit of damage from Arkham. Aggression again. Build up. Trying to take the high ground shots. Rux, no contact just yet. Before you know it, 96 HP is not going to necessarily be enough against a player with accuracy like that.
He does have the combat shotgun, which is the ultimate tool this early in the game. Rux still 96 health, has those grenades in his back pocket. Yet 15 bullets still remaining. Very intense fight for this team. The shot goes through. Down to 41 HP. Rux versus Arkham. Who can come out on top? Rux still with high ground. Arkham down below. Will he begin to throw these grenades? It doesn't appear so. Only 6 builds left. And remember, with only 2 games remaining in the competition today, this could spell disaster for their final performance. Arkham popping 1 shield. Definitely has a major health advantage, but still, height can make all the difference. As he has that shotgun, but...
Rux made a tag. He got damage. Arkham down at the bottom of that building. I would have expected a chance to get that the 50 HP or shield. It was a siphon. Damage down. King, one of our high Elim players. 35 HP, gonna try and get that med kit off, but he can't quite. Time to fight it out. A little bit of a build battle to see who can take ownership of the walls. King building up and layering yet again.
Oh my goodness.
The shockwave. He's actually going for it. Are you kidding me? Nezzy goes down, and King back up to 85 HP. What a play.
On the World Cup stage,
yeah, the kid,
he just shockwaved to the sky and tried to hit fire and cannon his opponent.
With 35 HP.
Are you kidding me? With 35 health? Talk about confidence. It's such an insane play that it catches the opponent off guard. Stompy trying to push on in. I believe this is Dubs on the other side of the wall. Stompy gets the wall, gets the elim. Down goes Dubs. And also in the elimination feed, Aqua, our Fortnite World Champion from yesterday, has eliminated Tifu.
Match 5 out of 6, 1 left. Those players, the 16 that have already been eliminated, they still have 1 game remaining. But our current leader on the standings, Booga, down in Lucky Landing, gonna make a rotation away. Avoid any damage. At this point, gonna be the most important thing is getting ahead of the game here. As the storm is pressing on in, he's only against 1 other player down here in Lucky. So the opt to rotate out to the west towards the river, probably the best one in the situation. Doesn't want to get challenged. He's got a free rotation up now. Slip is right there. Without realizing it too, he is relatively close to 2 llamas in the south edge of the map.
Wonderful spot, either of them, one on his left, one on his right. Was eliminated within the first 10 players in the game, but still keeping his lead because of how well he's performed in the other 3 games to this point. Did show some aggression there for a moment, but decided to fall on that. Don't want to take this 1v1 out in the open. Would rather go continue to loot on up, earn more materials because, hey, 45 builds, you think, that's a lot. But in any case, in a competitive lobby like this, well, since he fell back, he's able to get another combat shot there.
Feel good about that. Clicks the feet, picking up an elimination on Nate. Down to 81 players remaining as this first circle starts to close. 52 seconds left before that ends.
First zone, very central on the map. Super drastic rotations need to come on through. Here's a replay from earlier on of how Aqua challenged and eliminated Tifu. Tifu goes to the floor, Aqua gets the floor, and Tifu stands no chance, can't even fire a shot. And there's the frustration from Tifu, as he knows he has not had the day he's wanted. One of the biggest names in competitive Fortnite, one of the winningest players of all time, getting shut down here in the Fortnite World Cup solo final.
I would say it's definitely a different playing field than a lot of these players are used to, no matter where they hail from. Because the first time they've had multiple regions from the entire world all play within the same lobby, the same setups. It's all on land here, so it's a different scenario for everybody. Younger players that have never had land experience, nerves can potentially play into it, but she puts the box, gets inside, and the elimination. Robams goes down here in the Neo Tilted.
And I like that reflection, right? Because he's already got a lot of damage. He has 23 Fortnite damage. I have a major health advantage as Booga begins to dance on the main stage. He forces the play and says, you know what, if you have a trap, I'm still going to survive through it. You're so little HP that I know I'll eliminate you, even if I take 150 damage from the trap. Booga, I mean, I guess it's the side of the fight that he has right now. I'm in first. I've got shadow bombs, I've got a launch pad, I've got everything I need. Banny, if you want to play this game, bro, you can play this game. But Booga dances, and his opponent says, no thank you. No dance battle for me today, I'll back on up.
It's enough to pressure him to rotate.
Imagine
away.
dancing and scaring away your opponent. That's when you know you're good at the game.
Whenever you dance, you scare them. 72 players remaining as Cease picks up an elimination. A reminder on the right side of your screen, the format for the day. Match 5 of 6. We have 10 points for a victory royale. If you make it to top 5, it's only 7. Make it to top 15, that's 5. Top 25 is 3. And every elimination on the board is an additional point.
And also keep in mind,
ooh, a big 46 white damage. A good signal for Booga that player most likely won't challenge unless that's the only thing they have left. No pressure there is opportunity to just rotate away.
another thing to keep in mind, you see right there, 40% extra materials when farming. You also have a max count of 500 of each material type. So you cannot carry 1,000 wood or 999 wood, 999 brick, 999 metal. No, it's 500 of each material type. Players building inside this new structure, the corpse of the monster that Glorious Mech defeated to save the Fortnite Island.
Hashtag teammate. Ooh, a solid hit there. Scalar gets pressure from above, knowing that that ramp was closing it off for just a second. Gonna try and take the wall and hit from above. Just yet. Very good question. At some point, that's gonna have to come out and make pressure the player off of that campfire. Still campfire. There it is. Still. These stalemates for taking walls, one of the highest pressure situations. You're on the verge of a box fight with your opponent. You know they're going to push in. They have a trap that might take a wall and place it. Shotgun shot, 160. The blue pump, very, very powerful.
That's a 160 to the jaw right there. That's what people missed about the front shotgun when it was vaulted. As we all know, recently was brought back into play, and for reasons like that, so good in the upcoming fights. It's for a lot of people the one spot where it just completely outclasses all other shotguns. There's 4 shotguns in play right now in competitive Fortnite. Storm Surge did pop up, but it went away just instantly as Sloppy has quicker as things have gone on. Getting more desperate, challenging more early game fights to see if they can get an advantage. Sam, who won our 4th game, using one of these big shields, and look at the inventory right now. Big shields, chug splashes,